Lots of riverside tours. Might do one actually. I might do one.
Travel with LisaMH. Pack my bags, come explore with me. From historic halls to quiet streets, every place has stories to me. Cemeteries, landmarks, memories, old stone paths and mysteries. I follow, wonder wherever I am. Curiosity is my compass.
A warm welcome aboard our vessel Maria of the Berliner Wassertaxi. We are delighted to have you with us today on a special journey through both the modern and historic parts of Berlin. Our route covers approximately 8 kilometers of waterways, during which we will pass under a total of 15 bridges. Our journey takes us past the Nikolai River, along the impressive museum mountain, and into the green expanse of the Tiergarten, before returning to our start. Throughout the journey, our service staff will take great care of you, whether with a smile, a refreshing drink, or helpful tips for your stay in Berlin. Sit back, relax, enjoy the unique view from the water, and let us take care of you. We wish you a pleasant and memorable journey. On the right-hand side, you can see the Humboldt Forum, housed in the reconstructed Berlin Palace, a lively cultural center that blends history, art, and science with rotating exhibitions on world cultures. On the left-hand side stands the Red City Hall, Rose Lighthouse, the seat of the Berlin Senate, recognizable by its distinctive 19th century red brick facade, a striking contrast of contemporary cultural space and historic civic architecture. Einen spielerischen und fantasievollen Akzent verleiht. Es ist kaum zu glauben, dass dieses Viertel nach dem Krieg vollständig zerstört und in den 1980er Jahren liebevoll wieder aufgebaut wurde. Heute spürt man hier den ursprünglichen Charakter Berlins. Gemütlich, lebendig und ein bisschen nostalgisch. On the left-hand side lies the Nikolai Quarter, the oldest residential quarter of Berlin, a true piece of history in the heart of the modern city. From the water you can see its charming narrow streets that evoke the feel of medieval Berlin, with cozy cafes, traditional restaurants, and beautiful half-timbered houses. Towering above it all is the St. Nicholas Church, with its twin green spires easily visible from afar. A highlight is the Dragon Rider, an impressive sculpture that adds a playful, imaginative touch to the quarter. It's amazing to think that this area was completely destroyed during the war and carefully rebuilt in the 1980s. Today, the Nikolai Quarter captures the original spirit of Berlin, warm, lively, and a bit nostalgic. Von der Schleuse und machen uns auf den Weg in Richtung Westen. And in front of us now is the Mühlendamm Bridge. Behind it, you can already see the two chambers of the Mühlendamm lock. It is the largest of Berlin's locks. Behind the lock, the spray is about 150 meters higher, the upper spray. However, we will stay on the lower spray. We are now turning around here in front of the lock, heading back toward the west. Side is the House of German Economy, a modern building on the spree. It hosts projects and initiatives of the German business sector, from trade and innovation to international cooperation. Im Anschluss das Originalgebäude von 1905 der neue Marktschule. Er war im Grunde die Garage für das alte Stadtschloss, denn im Erdgeschoss befanden sich etwa 300 der königlichen Kutschen. Next, the original building from 1905, the new Marstal. It was essentially the garage for the old city palace, as the ground floor housed about 300 of the royal carriages, along with the riders and horses. In the basement, still barred, there was an armory. Neobarocks erbaut und beherbergt in seiner Gruft die prächtigen Särge der Hohenzollern-Dynastie. Im Inneren beeindruckt die aufwendig gestaltete Kuppel. In front of us rises the magnificent Berlin Cathedral, the largest church in the city. Built in the early 20th century in neo-Baroque style, it houses the ornate sarcophagi of the Hohenzollern dynasty in its crypt. Inside, the grand dome hall impresses with marble, mosaics, and one of the largest pipe organs in Europe. From the dome, visitors can enjoy a stunning panoramic view over Museum Island and Berlin's historic center. Nach der Karl-Liebknecht-Mauer rechts das Fernsehturm. Im Innenhof befand sich der Aquärium. 16 Meter hohes Aquarium mit etwa 1500 Fischen. 1 Million Liter Wasser aus den zerstörten Acrylglaszylinder ergossen sich kurz vor Weihnachten 2022 in das Erd- und Untergeschoss des Hotels. After the Karl Liebknecht Bridge on the right is the Radisson Hotel. In its courtyard was the Aquadome, a 16-meter-high aquarium with around 1,990 fish. Shortly before Christmas 2022, 1 million liters of water from the destroyed acrylic glass cylinder flooded the ground floor and basement of the hotel. Im Anschluss an den Berliner Dom die Museumsinsel. Insgesamt stehen hier 5 weltberühmte Museen Seite an Seite. Der Bereich ist seit 1999 Weltkulturerbe der UNESCO. Following the Berlin Cathedral is the Museum Island. In total, 5 world-famous museums stand side by side here. The area has been a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1999. Next is the Old National Gallery with its impressive colonnades. Here, you can primarily see the Impressionists, the old masters such as Monet, or Renoir, as well as paintings by, for example, Caspar David Friedrich. Spitze der Museumsinsel auf der linken Seite. Das Bodemuseum zeigt Interface von 5 Exemplaren dieser kanadischen Münze. Mit einem Durchmesser von etwa 50 cm hatte sie einen Materialwert von etwa 3,7 Millionen Euro. The boat museum is located at the tip of Museum Island on the left side. The boat museum showcases Byzantine art and sculptures, as well as one of the largest coin collections in the world. However, the largest gold coin in the world, the make-believe, was stolen from the museum in early 2017. It was one of 5 specimens of this Canadian coin. With a diameter of about 50 centimeters, it had a material value of approximately 3.7 million euros. Der Schlosswache war. Sie wurde in Zeiten der DDR umbenannt in Friedrich-Engels-Kaserne. Gegenüber war das Wachregiment. Left side is a part of the former Kaiser Alexander Grenadier Barracks, which, among other things, housed the palace guard, Schlosswache. During the GDR era, it was renamed the Friedrich Engels Barracks. It housed the guard regiment that stood guard on Unter den Linden at the Neue Wache, new guardhouse. Berlin has almost 1,000 bridges, and ahead of us lies the 3rd oldest of them, the Weidendammer Bridge. The first version of the bridge, made of wood, was built as early as the 15th century. The iron version we see today was constructed at the end of the 19th century. It features the Royal Prussian eagle with a crown on its head in the middle of the bridge. Ensemble, the ehemalige Wirkungsstätte von Bertolt Brecht. The theater here on the right, behind the trees, with the round sign on the roof, is the Berliner Ensemble, the former workplace of Bertolt Brecht. The Three-Penny Opera also premiered here. Auf der linken Seite hinter den Bäumen, der Tränenpalast. Das war das Passabfertigungsgebäude der DDR, denn der Bahnhof Berlin-Friedrichstraße war der letzte Halt des Zuges damals im Ostteil von Berlin. Die vielen tränenreichen Abschiede damals führten dazu, dass das Gebäude inzwischen auch offiziell Tränenpalast genannt wird. On the left side, behind the trees, is the Palace of Tears. It was the passport control building of the GDR, as the Berlin-Friedrichstraße station was the last stop of the train in the eastern part of Berlin at that time. The many tearful goodbyes back then led to the building now being officially called the Palace of Tears. Rechts verläuft der Schiffbauerdamm mit netten Kneipen. Er hat seinen Namen von der ersten Werft, die hier 1724 Wenn Sie jetzt über die Brücke hinwegblicken, sehen Sie der Beschluss zugunsten Berlins als künftige Hauptstadt Deutschlands. Daraufhin wurde durch den Architekten Sir Norman Foster zwischen I will see the Reichstag. In the year 1884, and it was opened 10 years later. In 1933, it was allegedly set on fire by the Dutchman Maria Swanepoel. The National Socialists used this as a pretext to proceed against their political opponents. The building was severely damaged during the war and was subsequently rebuilt without a dome. Following German reunification, a resolution was passed on June 20, 1991 in favor of Berlin as the future capital of Germany. Subsequently, the architect Sir Norman Foster undertook an elaborate renovation between 1995 and 1999, which included the installation of a new dome. Today, the Reichstag building is the seat of the German Bundestag, Parliament. The dome is accessible to everyone and offers beautiful views over the city. We have a beautiful view of the Bank des Bundes, Federal Ribbon, which is an arrangement of federal buildings that symbolically connect east and west. The Federal Ribbon is 900 meters long and encompasses the Canceller Bank, Chancellor's Park, on the bank of the street, the Federal Chancellery opposite it, the Paul Louvre House, and the Marie Elizabeth Bluder's house. From the air, it looks like a white bar. Directly above us are two outstanding roofs that fit precisely into one another, symbolically showing east and west growing together. The white crosses on the left side of the riverbank are a symbolic memorial to the victims of the war. The wall ran on the left side, between the Reichstag and the palace, and stood 100 meters from the riverbank on the right side. On the left side, in light blue, is the kindergarten for the little ones from the government district. And on the right side is the House of the Federal Press Conference. Under its roof, around 900 international journalists are organized. unobstructed, for example. Here on the right with the green facade is the Federal Ministry of Education and Research. To the right is the black facade of the Futurium, the House of Futures. This is where interactive exhibitions on important future topics like climate, living, nutrition, and technology are displayed. On the roof, there's a skywalk with a beautiful view over this part of Berlin. On your right, Berlin Central Station, the largest railway hub in Europe. Opened in 2006, it features a striking glass roof and modern architecture. Around 300,000 people arrive, depart, or change trains here every day. Schweiz and Deutschland. On your left, the Swiss Embassy, located right next to the Chancellor. It is one of the few buildings that survived World War II almost undamaged. Since 1999, it has represented Switzerland here in Germany. Wir unterqueren dann die Moltke-Brücke. Sie ist nach dem General Helmut von Moltke benannt. Die Brücke wurde im Zweiten Weltkrieg stark beschädigt. Aber nach 1905, we are now passing under the Moltke Bridge. It is named after General Helmut von Moltke. The bridge was heavily damaged during the Second World War, but was faithfully rebuilt after 1945. On the left bridge pier, you can see a book with dates engraved. And in the center of the bridge, a relief showing the head of the general. The bridge was restored for Berlin's 750th anniversary celebration. Und vor uns, auf der anderen Seite der Spree, das Bundeskanzleramt. Es wurde von den Architekten Alexander Schultes und Charlotte Frank entworfen und 2001 fertiggestellt. Das Büro des Kanzlers, Kanzlerin, ist ganz oben im Haupthaus. Sein zentraler, würfelförmiger Teil wird von Berlinern wegen der großen, bullaugartigen Ausschnitte scherzhaft auf die Bundeswaschmaschine genannt. And ahead of us on the other side of the street is the Federal Chancellor. It was designed by architects Alexander Schultes and Charlotte Frank and completed in 2001. The office of the Chancellor is located at the very top of the main building, on the 7th floor of the central cube, but facing the other side towards the Tiergarten. Its central cube-shaped section is sometimes jokingly referred to by Berliners as the Federal Washing Machine because of the large porthole-like cutouts. Links sehen Sie das Haus der Kulturen der Welt, von den Berlinern liebevoll Schwangere Außen genannt, wegen seines markanten, geschwungenen Daches. Das Gebäude wurde 1957 als Geschenk der USA zur internationalen Bauausstellung errichtet. Heute ist es ein bedeutendes Kulturzentrum, das Ausstellungen, Konzerte und Festivals aus aller Welt zeigt. On your left, you can see the House of World Cultures, affectionately called the Pregnant Oyster by Berliners because of its striking curved roof. It was built in 1957 as a gift from the United States for the International Building Exhibition. Today, it is one of Berlin's key cultural venues, hosting exhibitions, concerts, and festivals from around the world. Sie wachte früher auf dem Königsplatz, heute steht sie mitten im Tiergarten. Perfekt für den besten Rundumblick über die Stadt. Und wer ganz genau hinschaut, sieht Victoria, affectionately called Goldels by Berliners. She once stood on King's Square and now proudly overlooks the Tiergarten. The perfect spot for a parent.
This really is a beautiful way to see what's around in Berlin. I would recommend getting the boat tour for sure. There's different ones, different prices. But I chose the Maria because that was my nan's name. So why not?
turn around and slowly begin our return journey. As we turn, you can see a large, bright building behind the next bridge, the Luther Bridge, nestled among the trees. It is Schloss Bellevue, the residence of the German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier. The Tiergarten on the right, covering over 200 hectares, is the largest inner-city park in Europe. The area was originally a swampy forest along the Spree, which was fenced in as an electoral hunting ground in 1528. In the 40s of the 18th century, under Frederick II, and based on the plans of Georg von Knobelsdorff, the Tiergarten was converted into a public pleasure park. The Tiergarten was heavily damaged during the Second World War and the immediate post-war period. Of the original approximately 200,000 trees, only 700 remained.
Wow.
As many were cut down for building and heating materials. The open spaces were temporarily used for vegetable fields and cow pastures to alleviate the food shortage. The symbolic deforestation of the park, which also followed René's plans, began in March 1949 during the Berlin blockade.
It's a nice one.
On the left side, the Cube Berlin, a modern office building located right next to Berlin Central Station. Opened in 1020, it's known for its striking mirrored glass facade, which reflects the sky and surroundings. Inside, the building uses artificial intelligence, AI, to automatically manage energy, lighting, and climate, a symbol of smart and innovative Berlin. On the right-hand side, you can see the Capitol Beach, Berlin's popular summer city beach right on the River Spree. It's a favorite spot for locals and visitors to relax, enjoy a cocktail in a deck chair, and unwind while watching the water. With palm trees, sun loungers, and summer music, it offers a true holiday feeling in the heart of the city. Almost like the seaside, just with a view of the Spree. Here, directly beneath the Spree, runs an impressive tunnel system, originally built for the government buildings and traffic connections. Today, these underground passages link the key buildings in the government district and also serve some technical facilities. From the water, very little is visible, but the tunnels are a fascinating example of the hidden infrastructure that connects the heart of the capital. Bridge in front of us was the last bridge that still belonged to the GDR and was particularly secured during the time of the Berlin Wall. 6-meter-high grates blocked the view of the riverbanks, and there was a steel net that extended from the top of the bridge down to the riverbed. This steel net also prevented escape attempts under the water's surface from east to west. The Marshall Bridge, which was damaged during the war, was temporarily rebuilt after the war to remove the ruins and rubble of the nearby government buildings. During its complete renovation, a section of the old structure was preserved on the left side. Right-hand side, you can see the ARD Capitol Studio. That's where the news comes from whenever things get exciting in Berlin. The building sits right on the River Spree, just across from the Reichstag. the right, you can see the former Postcheckamt building, and just below it, right there by the water, you'll find what's probably Berlin's tiniest and most mobile waterfront apartment. This little opening gets new tenants all the time. You could say it's Airbnb meets the spree. A real insider tip for anyone wanting to experience authentic Berlin life. Up close, riverside. Hunderte von Kneipen, Bars, Restaurants, Theatern und Kabarets. Zwischen dem ersten und dem zweiten Weltkrieg ist der Frieden bereits beendet. Damit fahren wir wieder auf den Berg toward the tip of Museum Island. On the right, Kupfergraben rejoins the stream. It is the spree canal that separates from the spree behind the lock and turn around. Here, the two waterways merge together. This creates an island between the two waterways, the Spree Island of Berlin. Links sehen Sie den Monbijou-Park, eine beliebte grüne Oase mitten in Berlin. Dieser Park liegt direkt gegenüber der berühmten Museumsinsel. On the left you can see Monbijou Park, a popular green oasis right in the center of Berlin. This park is located directly opposite the famous Museum Island. Before it became a park, the historic Monbijou Palace stood here, which was destroyed in World War II and later torn down. Today it is known for its riverside promenade, relaxed atmosphere, and in the summer for open-air dance events along the banks of the Spree.